This is World News at this time. You can follow this broadcast by live streaming on our social media platforms at Facebook and YouTube at Television Nigerian. I am Susan Achin. The remains of an ancient Aztec palace, which later was the home of Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés, were discovered under a landmark building in Mexico City, the government said Monday. Basalt slab floors were found under the stately building of the Nacional Monte de Piedad, a historic pawn shop in the middle of the capital's central square during building renovations. The floors correspond to an open area in the palace of Aztec ruler Axayacatl, who was the father of Montezuma, one of the final rulers of the empire. Experts say that it was part of an open space of the old Axayacatl palace, probably a patio, the National Institute of Anthropology and History said. During excavation, archaeologists also found evidence of the home Cortés had at the site after the fall of the Aztec Empire. Archaeologists noted that the floor was likely made of materials reused from Axayacatl's palace, which, like other sacred Aztec buildings, were raised by the conquistadors. Polish President Andrzej Duda squeezed past a Europhile rival to win re-election, official results showed Monday, but the narrow victory put allies in the populist right-wing Law and Justice Party on the back foot. Seeking close ties with U.S. President Donald Trump, Duda has vowed to tighten already restrictive laws against abortion and campaigned against LGBT rights. Trump on Monday congratulated Duda on his historic re-election. "Looking forward to continuing our important work together," he wrote on Twitter. The incumbent won a new 5-year term with 51.03% of Sunday's vote against 48.97% for Warsaw's liberal mayor, Rafał Czartoryski. According to final results from the country's electoral commission, Czartoryski had vowed to mend ties with the European Union. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen congratulated Duda on his win, tweeting that she looks forward to working with him on the many challenges Europe and Poland have to face together. Now, Singapore plunged into recession in the second quarter as growth fell 41.2% quarter-on-quarter, with the trade-dependent economy hammered by the coronavirus, preliminary data showed Tuesday. Year-on-year, the economy shrank 12.6% between April and June, according to the data from the Trade Ministry, as strict curbs were imposed to fight the virus. It marks the second consecutive quarter of contraction, meaning that the city-state, which is one of the world's most open economies, has entered a recession for the first time in more than a decade. The massive second quarter drop in GDP was due to measures that were implemented from 7th April to 1st June to slow the spread of COVID-19, which included the suspension of non-essential services and closure of most workplace premises, the ministry said in a statement. It also attributed to the contraction to weak external demand amidst a global economic downturn. Tiny Singapore, viewed as a barometer for the health of global trade, is highly sensitive to external shocks, and the gloomy figures are another ominous sign for the global economy. The federal government of Nigeria has said over 4 million persons have so far applied for the 2020 Empower Batch C recruitment. This is according to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Farouk. She said this in a tweet on her handle on Sunday, adding that her ministry will ensure the successful transition of the Empower beneficiaries. According to her, since the portal was opened about 16 days ago, Nigerians have responded positively. On June 26, 2020, Empower opened its application portal for registration of the June 2020 Batch C intakes. The federal government had earlier said it will absorb 400,000 fresh beneficiaries into the scheme after the exit of the Batch A on June 30, 2020 and Batch B on July 31, 2020. Empower is a social intervention scheme of the federal government, which was launched in 2016. Since its inception by President Muhammadu Buhari government, over 500,000 persons have thus far benefited, according to the Empower scheme. Now, Kate Middleton is back to her in-person royal duties and for some fashion inspiration for her followers. In her latest appearance, the Duchess of Cambridge debuted a new chic hairdo in a bold polka dots dress. The royal mother of three showcases her hairdo in BBC's Education's new initiative, Tiny Happy People, that support new mothers and children. The Duke and the Duchess of Cambridge's official Instagram account, Kensington Palace, posted a clip of the Duchess interview from the national launch of Tiny Happy People, along with some pictures from her latest appearance. Tiny Happy People is an initiative by British Broadcasting Corporation BBC that assists parents and caregivers in the earlier development of their child, as well as in the development of their communication skills. The national launch will take place on BBC Breakfast on Tuesday. According to the news release, the Duchess has been involved in the creative development of the project. Speaking with the BBC, she talks about the importance of early year development of children and how Tiny Happy People can support it. And in the world of sports, Inter Milan put one foot in next season's Champions League on Monday after coming from behind to beat relegation-threatened Torino 3-1 and move up to second place in Serie A. Antonio Conte's Inter moved above Atalanta and Lazio to go 8 points behind.